comfortable in doing this little bit of movement. So I want you to first of all kind of imagine that your foot is like a piece of dough. For those of you that are bakers, you'll probably be saying things that are sacrilege, but I want you to just gently press your foot, the mid-foot, on top of the ball. Do you know what I mean? So it's like when you're first making dough and you're just kind of pressing it down. So it doesn't have to be too heavy. And you're kind of working out, okay, well, how much pressure can I put on this ball without it shocking my body or it feeling, you know, too harsh? Yeah, that's it. And then once you have done that, you're then going to go sort of roll back and forth. That's it. But you're still doing that kind of pressing down and away, down and away. Sandra, you look like you were trying to give me the ball then through the screen. That's it, yeah. So make sure it's underneath you. And then you're going to stay with this foot, take it slightly further forwards, or alternatively, take your other leg back. So I want you in a split position. So one leg's behind you and the one on the ball is in front. Now don't go too wide. Yeah, but you want to be able to, this is where you might need the wall, to then stand onto the ball and lift your back heel. So you're kind of rocking onto the ball, yeah. You can have a soft knee, but it's not a lunge. You're not trying to bend down into it. It's just an exchange of weight. Yeah, so try and straighten your leg a little bit more, Anne, up the front. No, the front one. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. So once you've done it a few times, kind of again, your body kind of works it out. But I'm well aware that you might be like, oh God, there's a bit in this foot. It's a bit too harsh. You've all got the small, the soft, spiky ball. So I know you're not having too bad a time of it. Okay. So then relax. Take that foot down for a sec. And just have a little walk out, stamp, and just see or feel the difference between one foot and the other. And then you can gently come on to the other side. So we firstly take a press down, press down, press down. Yeah, so you know you're doing this side. Yeah, so you might feel a little more confident. You kind of know what the ball feels like. And this is a really good way to kind of get the breathing and your feet in tune. So stay with me on this one. So we've got these kind of other bits of the body that are linked to our breathing apparatus, particularly the diaphragm. So if you think about this arch of your foot being another type of diaphragm, these areas of the body that naturally sink down as we inhale and come up as we exhale. So there's all little sort of facial connections that can affect our breathing. So that's the idea. So now you push down and roll if you've not started that already. Push down and roll. That's it. And I feel like this is quite a different experience to what we usually do. So you might just kind of go forwards and backwards. And again, this kind of massage. Yeah, that's it. Is much better. Good. You see me and hear me okay? Someone give me a thumbs up. Okay. All right, so from there, again, take that ball slightly further forwards. The other leg comes back, and then we just gently exchange the weight. Good. Really nice. Lovely. Caroline, you're in perfect time with me, or we were for a sec. Okay, so I am looking forward to being in a room again with other people. I think that's what we've got to start thinking about as well, isn't it? What things we're kind of excited about, even though they're a little bit scary because it's the unknown after all this time. It will be lovely to see you all in the flesh, that's for sure. Okay, come off the ball and just have a little walk out. I mean, if you're not stamping too much, it's just trying to say to those feet, okay, you can relax. And then we're going to warm up our hands. So make sure that ball's away from you so you can't trip up over it. You might forget about it and then trip up. So I want us to rub the hands together. Rub the hands together. So as fast as you can. And if you're like me, cold hands, warm heart, might need to do it for a bit longer. I'm actually a bit scared because I've only got my little top on. My hands are quite cold. Okay, so if you have got warm hands and you feel you're there, you can then pop your hands right under, well, we're all ladies here today, aren't we? So it's right by your boobs, right there. Yeah. So as high as you can get them. I know this can be a bit uncomfortable. So your hands are like on the rib cage because the ribs go all the way up here to the collarbone and then quite low down. So I want you to just find your breath and feel those ribs kind of growing into your hands as you inhale. And then as they slowly kind of come away from those hands a little bit, they descend and relax with your exhale. Now I know if like me, you've got a bit of a sort of tight chest, it's a bit of an awkward position. Don't worry, we're not going to be here for too much longer. So stick with it as high up as you can, sort of under the armpits. Yeah, that's it. Well done. And relax your arms for a sec, give them a little shake out. And then I want you to take your hands to your waist. So again, you might feel that your fingertips are just on the front of your bottom of the rib cage. So can you breathe into there now? And it's up to you how you breathe. It could be an inhale through the nose and an exhale through the nose. It could be an inhale through the nose and an exhale through the mouth. Whatever makes you feel that you're breathing a little more deeply. Good, well done. Okay, relax your arms again. And then we're going to do some shoulder rolls. So we're going to inhale, bring those shoulders up, and exhale, slowly roll them down. So we'll do them both at the same time. We are going to do some kind of asymmetrical stuff shortly. And I'd like you to just try and find an easy way around. So if you're, what I would say is a bit clunky, and just try to find an easy way around in both directions. Good. And then from there, try and find a little bit of height through the top of your head, and then let your arms just gently reach out so they're nice and wide. Good. Now, if you're happy with your legs parallel, you can stay like this, or you have got the option to bring your heels together and toes apart. So whatever makes you feel strong and tall. And from here, we're going to flip the palms down and up, down and up. Okay. Now, we're not trying to move the mid-back or anything like that. I just want you to think about your shoulders going kind of up and down. That's it. Just a nice little warm up for the shoulders. That's it. And we're not going to move those arms too much. It's more of a twist. And so we're not doing this kind of flying thing. We're just turning and turning, turning and turning. Good. Yeah, lovely. Now from there, we are going to bring the arms down. Bring one arm up. I'm aware that mine's gone off the screen, but you know where it is. And then the arm that's up, you're going to turn towards. So you turn your head and turn your trunk, and then bring it back to center and down. Other side, arm goes up, turn and look at it, bring it back to center and down. So you can inhale up, you can exhale, twist, and then back to center. Inhale up, exhale, twist, back to center. So because that's why I offered you legs being together. So if you feel that your pelvis is moving quite a lot to help you do this movement, bring your legs together, and that'll kind of help you disassociate this top bit of the torso moving, yeah, rather than the bottom bit moving. So it's less of a side bend, more of a rotation. Good. We're going to make that a bit bigger now. So we're going to bring an arm to the front, just at shoulder height. And this time you're going to swing it around and look behind you. And then bring it back and down. Other side, lift up, reach around, back to center and down. Open and back. So, it doesn't matter what sort of breath pattern you're doing, just breathe as you go. If it's feeling like it's going into kind of this area, it's because you're already pushing your ribs and belly forwards. So try to think about your tailbone going down towards the floor and the ribs going down as well, and see if that helps with this little rotation. Should be no sort of pinching through the shoulders. Last one now, each side. Good, well done. Okay, so we're just going to warm those arms up a tad more before we get into the legs. So now we're going to take the arms wide, bring them forwards. Okay, so we're going to cross them over and then bring them out. Okay, so it's 3, 2, 1 and out. 3, 2, 1 and out. So I want you to think about the width through your back each time you bring the arms together and every time you reach them apart. 3, 2, 1, reach out. 3, 2, 1, reach out. Good. So imagine your chest expanding each time you do this. Nice. 3, 2, 1, and out. Twice more. 3, 2, 1, and out. Really good. 3, 2, 1, and out. It's lovely work. Let those arms come down, and then I want you to stand about as wide as your shoulders. So you're in like a second position. So the toes are diagonal and out. So from here, I want you to do a bend and a stretch. Bend and a stretch. Okay. If the external rotation doesn't suit your knees, bring your feet forwards and make it more into a squat. Okay. But I want you to be wider. So try a bit wider, Ruth. Yeah. Good. Okay. So just have a glance down, and when you bend your knees, you should be able to see at the very least your big toes. Yeah, so the idea is that the knees are reaching out. Good. Once you're happy with your knee position, have a look at this bigger screen. It will look good here. Then we're going to start the arms as well. Okay, so we're going to lift the arms as you straighten the legs, and then come down. And down. And up. And down. So even if you're doing the squat, yeah, you're keeping that chest high. Yeah, so don't lean down too much. Lovely. Really nice, everybody. 2 more. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Good. Bring the arms down. Bring your feet back together. You're going to do just that little knee bend now. Little knee bend. So the knees are reaching forwards and then back. Knees go forwards, knees go back. Okay, so arms can be dangling by your sides. You should feel a little stretch in the calves here. That's it. Do what you want with your arms. They can be helping you with the movement. They can be dangling, they can be on your hips. Okay, good. All right, so We're going to come into a kind of a roll down, but I want you to keep your knees bent for the whole thing. So have a look at this. We're going to bend the knees and then we're going to start to roll. Drop the head, drop the chest, you roll down. You roll down to find your belly and your chest onto your thighs. Okay, so it's this position. Then let your head go. Keep the knees soft, keep them bent, and then start to roll up again. And maybe when you get to bring your head up, that's when you start to straighten the legs. So it's a bend of the knees first. It's like you sat on a little stool, and then you're going to kind of pour your body off it, roll onto yourself. That's it, good work. And then keep those knees bent, but still push through the heels. So still feel the activation through the back of your legs. Good. Twice more. Yeah, really nice. So I always think, I imagine myself like a puppet, that the strings have just been cut. Yes, it's kind of that up and then flop, and then you come alive again. And it's only at the end when all the strings are pulled taut to get you nice and straight. Give me one more, and then we are going to come to the ground. Yeah, lovely. Wonderful. So if you want to bring yourself to the end of your mat so you can roll down or squat down to the mat, that would be fab. Just have a little look at my plan here. Yes, we'll come to all fours here, guys. So I want you, in fact, I'll do it this way, I think. So I want you to have your hands a little bit wider than you usually would in all fours. So they're still underneath your shoulders, but they're, let me show you that way. They're not too far forwards, they're still here, but they're wider. That makes sense. Yes, good, good. Okay, so then I'd like you to start to move your rib cage from the left and to the right. Move your rib cage to the left, to the right. So I don't mind if your elbows want to quite naturally bend, that's okay. Yeah, it's just movement. So don't worry what it looks like. I just want you to think about that rib cage moving from side to side. So however that means, or whatever that means to you. It could mean that your pelvis stays still and your shoulders are moving. Could be that your shoulders are staying still and you're just trying to move the rib cage. Could be that you're bending and coming down and up. Yeah, I don't mind. Oh yes, layer coming off, love it. And then just come back to center. And then we're going to come back to all fours. Okay, so come back to your standard all fours. And we're going to do a little rotation here, folks. But I think this one should be quite nice for everybody. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one hand onto the same shoulder. Okay. And then you're going to do a rotation. So you're going to lift the elbow up towards the ceiling. And then you're going to bring that elbow down towards the other wrist. So it comes up and down. So again, it's more for the sort of breathing apparatus. You can breathe in as you come up and exhale as you come down. Lovely. Yeah. So I suppose it's, it's really personal choice. With thread the needle, we've done all kinds of variations in the past, but I think sometimes the hand behind the head can be a bit much for the shoulder. And I just found this one. I'm like, oh, actually, this is quite good. So stay with it for today, but no, you don't have to do it forever. Last one, and then you'll swap sides. Yeah, it should feel quite easy, this one, I think. And the idea of coming from the elbow to the wrist, yeah, is just to get you a bit deeper into that rotation. So if you can't quite get there, don't worry about it. It's just, you know, somewhere to aim for. Lovely. Yeah, and still think about your back being flat. You're not trying to flex or extend. Dude, that's great. That's it. And try to enjoy the movement each way. There's going to be a section, as always, that you want to rush through, and try and slow it down. Good. Last one. Brill. And then you can come into your child's pose. So bring your bottom back, keep your arms in front, and enjoy that stretch, because again, we're still trying to open up the shoulders a little bit more. So the shoulders now will feel like they're quite high up on your back because your arms are forwards. Then you can slide your arms back to your feet as well, as long as your head can touch the floor. If not, lift your bottom. Yeah, so let those shoulders just kind of melt around your rib cage and breathe there. Nice. And then bring the arms forward again. You might want to go a little bit wider than your mat with your hands. And then from here, you're going to pick yourself up. So I want you to think about coming through cat stretch now. So you're going to tuck your bum under, roll yourself up past all fours, all the way forwards, drop the hips. And then pick up your bottom and take yourself back into child's pose. So we pick up the belly and think about really arching your back. When you're in your all fours position, keep that upper back arch, but send your hips forwards. We've got a little bit of strength work coming in here, lovely. And then again, pick up your belly, send your bum back. I'm going to come in and have a closer look at everybody. Continue the movement. Yeah, Kate, I'm missing you because your camera needs to be lowered a little bit. Would you change it for me? Because I think I can give you a bit of feedback here. And lovely, yeah, good. So you're not sinking, lovely Mavis, that's the one. So you're not sinking down into the mat. Those hips are going forwards, yeah, but keep that upper back still flexed. That's it, Olivia, great. Super, one more. Yeah, keep that head up, Carolyn. Yeah, nice. And then back into child's pose to rest. Bit different, that one, isn't it? It's called the up stretch. So from there, we are going to slide ourselves out onto our belly. So there's a lot of extension here. So slide yourself onto your front and then bring your hand underneath your head. Great. Then from here, we're just going to give ourselves a little wiggle. Yeah, so let that pelvis. I'm liking the word smush. I'm not sure if if you'll like that or not. But I think I was using sand last week, wasn't I? About just letting your pelvis kind of sink in. Or I like this idea of smushing it, like you smush avocado into the mat. Feel your hip creases get a little bit more open. Let them sink down into the mat. And then we're going to use the breath as we inhale to let the head float and let the collarbone smile and the chest comes up. And then we come back down. Remember, don't go too high. Think about being a nosy tortoise, just coming out of your shell and having a little look. So of course you can look forwards, look around a little bit and come back down. That's it. And when you pick up your head, ask yourself, do your ribs get heavier? You don't really want that. You want your ribs to become light. If anything's getting heavier, it should be your pelvis. Good. And then last one. Very nice work. If that's you today, if you feel that you need to practice that a bit more, carry on with that. If you're feeling strong and you know that you can manage this, then have a go at the next bit. So you're going to then lift your head, chest, and the arms will stay connected to the forehead. And then we come back down. So think about that idea of your ribs still staying light, the head reaches forwards, and then the hands and chest come up as one. I'll do one more demo, so have a look if you're not sure. So we reach forwards, and the top half floats up, and then comes back down. Okay. I always say less is more here, because quite often we go a little bit too high and the lower back starts to pay out. So if you just think about floating a hair's breadth first of all, and then you can go little by little, a little bit higher to see where those upper back muscles really do the work. Good. Lovely. Yes, Sharon, so it doesn't need to be that much. You know what I mean? It can just be little floats. Fab. Okay, so then from here, we're going to make that a little bit bigger. So let's do windscreen wiper legs, just to let that pelvis sink down again and have a little release. That's it. Let the legs straighten out. Put your hands underneath your shoulders. Yeah, so they're quite narrow first of all. Legs are straight back on the floor. Again, still think that your hip creases are deepening into the mat. And then again, we hover the head, the chest and the ribs become light, and we start to come up into a mini swan. Yeah, it won't be high, but the arms are helping you out a bit more now. And then come back down. So we come up, still reaching forwards, ribs feel light. So yes, there's a little bit of pressure through the arms, but we don't want to be muscling through it. Great. Try to use your inhale to come up. It just makes you feel a little bit lighter because, of course, the lungs expand on the front of the body, and that helps you come up. Great. Now try it with your arms wider than your mat, forearms and elbows on the ground. Yeah. Again, if you need to have a little rest or a little kind of release in between, do it. So again, head reaches forwards, chest reaches forwards, ribs are light, and then you can start to press through the arms to bring yourself up into your full swan, if that's what you do. Yeah, if you're not up for a full swan today, stay with the other ones and practice. You know, every day is different, isn't it? Sometimes I can't come up into a full swan. I just want you to think about the width in your back. That's gorgeous, Kate. Very nice. I don't want any pinching through the shoulders. So Sandra, imagine that I'm there just tapping the front of your ribs next time you come up. Let your elbows come down to the floor. Make them go a little bit wider. And now start your swan. So reach the head forwards. That's it, the chest. Good. That's it. Ribs lift, much better. Lovely. That's the one for you. Perfect. Last one, everybody. Really nice. You're my best group for swans. I've got to say it. Don't tell the others. And then back into your child's pose. Beautiful. Love it. So go into whichever shape you like. What is going to be a release, feel free to kind of move the hips from side to side, and you can bring your hands back. And then gently roll yourself back up on the next breath and bring your legs forward so we can do some lying down. We haven't done any on our back stuff yet. So let's lie down and see how we feel. How do your shoulders feel? Is there space between your shoulder blades for your heart or chest bone to sink down between them? What works for you in terms of a visualization for that? Take a couple of breaths. Just let your body totally relax into this space. Good work. And from here, we're going to just gently tilt the pelvis back and forth so we can find our neutral. And then we're going to just lightly pick up one leg. We're going to float it up. Good. I'm going to see if we can keep that connection through our mid-back. Yes, it still feels soft in the middle of the back. And then we pick up the second leg. We take the first leg down and the second leg comes down. We go up, up, down, and down. Up, up, down, and down. So we're just moving the legs in space. That's it. And trying to keep the back and the shoulders relaxed. Noticing which breath pattern helps us most. You know, do we need to use an exhale to bring those legs up? Are we still keeping that lower back quiet? Great. And then from there, pick one leg up. I want you to now press down through the other foot. So the foot that's on the floor, really press down into it and until you can feel that you've got like a little bit of activation through the back of your thighs. And then from here, you're going to reach that leg long. So as straight as you can get it. If you want it still bent, that's fine. And then you're going to circle. So circle the leg 5 times one way and really push into that other foot. How's your mid-back doing? Does it still feel attached to the ground? Do you feel like you're still relaxed through the shoulders? And then 5 circles the other way. Which bit do you need to use your exhale for to bring that leg up? Which bits of leg do you need to talk to? That's it, to scoop the leg up and make it work for you. Nice. And then hug the leg in, give it a little rest through the front of the hip. Super. Put that one down, float the other leg up. And again, find the connection through your foot into the mat. So your standing leg, let's call it, is really, really on. Yeah, your hips will stay in exactly the same place as you circle the leg. You might want to put your hands on your hips so you can feel if you're going a bit too far with it. Yeah, so always when we've got the flexibility or the mobility in the hip, we might think, oh, I can just fling my leg around. But if we're getting those clicks or any discomfort, it's usually because we've not switched on through the other leg to support the rest of the pelvis. Well done. 5 in each direction, folks. So go at your own pace. Remember, it doesn't have to be super straight. Lovely. So listen to your hips. Good work. Brill. And then hug in. Super. We are going to put both feet back down on the ground. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Interlace your fingers and pop them behind your head. I still want you to focus on the leg that's on the ground. Okay, so we're going to just butterfly the elbows out and in out and in. And then from there, your elbows adjusting your peripheral vision. We curl up, and then we're going to push through the left foot, let's say. The right leg floats up, and as we're pushing through the left foot, we twist the elbow towards the right knee. You want to go opposite. So cabs the other way, left to right, left elbow to right leg, and then down. Push that leg down, and that's what helps the other one float up as you twist. It's just a little crisscross. Oh, have I lost somebody? Oh no, you're back. You have to go across the body, elbow to knee. Cabs the other way. So right out, that's the one. Yes. Wonderful. Good job. That's it. Lovely. And one more each side, if you can do it. Good. Curling up. Nice, Sharon. Lovely. And then relax, hug your knees in, roll yourself from side to side. Just a gentle rock. Brill. Then from here, roll yourself up to sitting. And then I want you to sit ideally like this. So if you can sit with your feet together and your knees can cope with that, great. If you need to be, you know, up on a block or a cushion just to help you feel a little more comfortable around the hips, you know, do that. If you can't sit like this, I would go a little further out, maybe with your legs straight. Yeah, okay. So from here, first of all, we're just going to do a little flexion and extension. So you're having your hands on your shins, and then I want you to, I'll just turn this side, I want you to think of sitting up nice and tall, and then just gently thinking about letting the pelvis sink back. So you're going from your letter I to your J to your C, and then coming all the way back up into the I. So it's the bottom, the lower back, and then the rest of the spine that comes into that little curve. The hands on the shins are going to kind of stop you from overdoing it here. So put the brakes on, yeah? Think about rolling through the bottom, yeah, and then the rest of the spine. Let me watch you. Good. I know it can be quite frustrating if you are, you know, if you love to roll and you're thinking, oh, I just want to be able to roll all the way out. But it's good little practice just to feel those abs in the lower section really switch on as you kind of roll off your sit bones and then back onto them. Good. Okay. And then from there, we'll take the arms away. This time we sit up tall. We come from our J shape to the C shape, and then we continue to roll just back onto the sacrum. Then we're going to reach up through the chest to get us up back to seated. A little while ago, I was showing you this one where you can roll back and then you go tap, tap to reach forwards. I had reports that it was quite helpful for quite a lot of people. So if you struggle with the getting back up, this little tap on the chest and then kind of telling yourself to go forwards it seems like magic for some people, but like when we found the cushion. Yeah, good. Nice. If you're unhappy with your legs being the shape, now you can change them, make them straight, and feel free to go into a full roll back. Yeah, if you want to and you like to do that, if it's possible for you, and of course enjoy the full rolling experience. I'm just giving you options. Yeah, so you can, I'm going off my mat here. That's it. So do what's good for you. Yes, brilliant, Yvonne. Yeah, if you want to get something else in to help, a little cushion, a little ball, nice. Beautiful. Loving it. Well done, Olivia. Good stuff, everybody. Once you've come up from that last one, I want you to sit back like this. If you need to give your legs a little wiggle and jiggle, I would totally understand. I want you to bring your feet back to that position like frog legs diamond. Again, if you need to be crossed, that's fine. I want you to put your hands behind your head. Push your head back into your hands and try and think of a support behind you, a wall or back of a chair. Sit up nice and tall. We're going to rotate and then we're going to reach the elbow towards the opposite shin and then come back up and rotate. So you rotate your torso and then you flex, you come back up and you rotate. So it's all in the trunk. If this is horrible for you because of the hands behind the head, you can take your hands out like this and do this kind of action. Yeah, it just takes some pressure off the shoulders. Let me have a look. Yeah, good. I think what I'm most worried about with this is that the hands push your head forward. So if you feel that that's happening because of tightness here, put your arms out like that so you can get that rotation and twist. Good. Just one more each side. Well done. Yeah, beautiful. Good. And then do straighten out your legs in front of you. Put your hands behind you like you're sitting on the beach. Okay. So have your arms as wide or even wider than the mat because you want your collarbone to feel wide. And then from there, we're going to take the hands to our legs. We're going to take one hand behind us and look at it. Bring it back. One hand behind us and look at it. So you can go wide and you can go quite far, or you can go narrow and quite close. It's all about rotation. Okay, so which kind of rotation suits you and your body? And then you're going to help yourself around a little bit more by lifting the hip. So as you twist, you lift the opposite hip. And it just opens out some of that stuff that might have started to feel quite tight in that seated position. That's it. Good. Let's do it twice more. Nice. Good. Lovely. Back to center. Bring your knees to a bent position. Make sure you can roll back onto your mat without, bashing into anything. Nothing behind your head as we come into shoulder bridge. So arms by your sides, feet hip distance apart. Inhale and exhale. Gently start to tilt that pelvis. Think about length, through the whole body. And then inhale at the top, exhale, roll down. Okay, so it's shoulder bridge, folks. So once you've watched, you know this, have your gaze up towards the ceiling, because what I want you to be cautious of is that space between your chin and chest. Yeah, it stays the same whether you're down on the floor or the hips are up in your shoulder bridge. Let's see if we can make this a little more flowy, as we now take the breath pattern a little bit differently. So we're going to inhale at the bottom and roll up. So that's your inhale. And then we exhale as we roll back down. So we're not pausing. That's the difference. Inhale as you roll up. Exhale as you roll down. Shoulders feel wide. And maybe next time you roll up, you can then bring your arms with you, keep the arms up in the air, and then exhale and roll down. The arms come down to help you roll up. The arms come up to find more space on the exhale, rolling down. Yeah, so it's like a lengthening coming up, but also a lengthening coming down. Nice work. Yeah. Just do 2 more. And make it work for you. You know, it should feel lovely. Yeah, it should also tell you if there's still some kind of asymmetry in your body. It's a really good one to kind of go, oh, still got a little bit more work to do on that side. Nice. Good. And once you have landed from that last one, you do your hip twist. So you can take your cushion behind your head. I want everyone to bring their legs together now so they feel supported. So thighs meet, feet meet. That's it. And then we just gently let the knees roll one way and then they roll the other way. So in this instance, again, you're just trying to think about your mid-back staying relaxed, open, and attached to the mat. And then if you wish, you can bring those legs up. Do the same movement side to side. But again, there is more effort, but how gentle or effortless can you make this movement? Yeah, so you start to control it with your breath. And also you're not relying too much on the arms. A good little test to check if you're relying on the arms is to bring the arms up. And then you'll slowly or very quickly realize, oh, I can't actually go that far. And my waist has to do quite a lot of work in this movement. Keep those legs together. That's it. Good work. Nice. Just 1 or 2 more to level up. Nice. And then hug the legs in. To get up from here, the option is to rock and roll yourself up through the center, nice and gently, or you roll onto your side. So you pull the legs in and start to rock and roll. Look towards your belly. Yeah, enjoy it. If you just are quite happy to get up to seated and you want to stay there, I'm with you, okay? If you want to do a few more rolls, do that. Good, well done. And then bring yourself onto your knees. So you're going to come to high kneeling here, folks. So make sure if you don't want to kneel, you can just come to standing. Yeah, you can come to standing and do that. All right, so we're going to take one leg forwards. So you just do this standing, you know, the split leg. Want to do that? All right, so from there, I want your knee to be underneath your hip. Yeah, so this line is really crucial here, just as crucial as this ankle underneath the knee is important too. Yeah, good. Now try and make your torso nice and long, and then take your same arm that you're kneeling on. That makes sense? It's going to come forwards. And then we're just going to do some circles, just as we did at the start. So you lift your arm and you rotate and turn and look at it. Then you're going to take your arm all the way back now and bring it around. So you lift your arm, you turn and look at it, and then you take it behind you. There's a rotation happening through the whole torso, and you might feel a little bit more deeply in that hip. But it's gentle, folks. Yeah, you don't have to be kind of lunging anywhere. Good. Nice. Don't let that knee go with you, Carolyn. Yeah, keep the knee sort of nice and steady. And then let's swap. That's what was happening, Carolyn. It's your left arm that you need to do now. You were doing the same. Yeah. So put your left arm out. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. So look up and then look towards your arm and follow it behind you. That's why it was taking the knee with you. So apologies. I didn't spot that sooner. That's good. Yeah. Yeah, good. Quite an interesting stretch depending on what you're doing. If you do this every day, it can be very, very different each day. Yeah, if you've been walking up a hill or doing something like squatting gardening, it could be quite revealing. Okay, well done. So is this your best leg to get up on? You tuck the toes under, push yourself up. If not, swap your leg or get up in a roll up position. Find yourself standing, feel those feet, and then we're just going to do those little bends. Bend and stretch, bend and stretch. How are your calves feeling now? Yeah, how does it feel to bend those legs? Do the hips feel a little freer? Yeah, can you then start to have those legs soft through the knees? And would you go back to where we were at the start? So we bend the knees, let the head drop, roll down. Let your belly and your chest find your thighs. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, keep the knees bent and start to unravel. Good. And then if it's good for you, you can do a normal roll down now. So still keeping the knees soft. Let the head roll down. Inhale and exhale, rolling up. Good. Once you've landed with your head on top of your spine, reach your arms forwards and up towards the ceiling. Out to the side and all the way down to the hips. One more time, lift forwards, up and out and down to the side. Lovely work, everybody. Really nice job today. So round of applause. Give those legs a little shake if they need it. And yes, we're right on time if you want to have a little, if you want to say anything about the class.